Hello, E-Man here with the final on the BB Blaster. As you can see, I kind of went with a minimalist approach on this, although it's not so, knocking stuff off already, it's not so minimalist as to be entirely boring. And as you can see, I'm not going to handle this too much because it is charged up and ready to rock. But anyway, I think it turned out pretty good. It's kind of got, in my opinion, kind of has a little bit of a Star Wars blaster kind of look, so that's not the worst thing in the world. There's really nothing to see on the other side. Actually, there's less because there's right here is the fill plug. The fill plug is something you haven't seen yet, and it's just real simple. And yeah, there's BBs in there. But it's just a 7/16 bolt cut off short with an O-ring on it, so it seals. It's not so easy to do on camera. Right, so there we go. And you just screw that down until you feel the O-ring seat, and you're good. The stock material is it's like 1x6 vinyl trim. It's got a I'm not real fond of the coarse wood grain look on it, but and it's not finished the same on both sides, so that's why you might see a little bit of a difference here. Little bit of a difference here. You can see the wood grain here, and actually I must have flipped my template somewhere along the line. I got the smooth side on the side with the wood grain, and the other side is exactly the opposite of what you see here. So, but it's good enough for what I'm doing. It turned out pretty good. Pluses and minuses for working with the vinyl trim. All the pluses are after you're done. After you're done, you got a pretty lightweight stock, pretty rugged, weatherproof, all that good stuff. While you're working with it though, it does like to release vinyl chloride gas, which isn't so good to breathe. So you might want to look into keeping a fan close to blow that away from you while you're working with it. And also, the other really icky thing is that the sawdust generated from cutting this has a static charge. And so it will chase you all around the shop just to stick to you somewhere. And everything else. And it's pretty tough to vacuum up. I mean, you can get it, but like it doesn't like to move once it's stuck. I'm just going to tip this up so you can see there's a flat top on this thing, which I didn't get into it too much, but if you wanted to, you could take a piece of Picatinny rail, or maybe even you could even make an integral one if you wanted to take the time. But you could put a Picatinny rail on here, no problem. If you wanted a reflector sight on there or something to dress it up a little bit. I don't see much point. I mean, the BBs come squirting out like water. You're going to see where your shots are going. So it's kind of like putting sights on a garden hose, in my opinion. But if you wanted to make it look even cooler, you could. I'm not saying this is entirely cool. I don't think it is. But it's cool enough. It also kind of reminds me of the Lark. If you remember the Lark, it was a commercially available cloud chamber BB blaster. Actually, the feel of this one is better than the Lark. The Lark was pretty cheesy when I finally got my hands on one. Well, that's all I wanted when I was a kid was a Lark. They quit making them right after they started making them because they ran on Freon, and that was about the time they started really putting the clamps on Freon. So, but the good news is you can make your own, and you can make it better. So, I did have this laid out so that the barrel protruded a little bit out of the stock so it wouldn't look entirely ignorant. However, then I thought, yeah, if this thing gets knocked off the workbench, it's probably going to land on the barrel and that'll be all she wrote. So I found, cut myself a little piece of half-inch CPVC and put that on there. And I still have the protruding barrel look, which is good. That's what I wanted. And plus the barrel does have some protection too, just in case it lands muzzle down and hits the deck. This is a dowel fitting. I got a couple of dowels in here to kind of hold that together a little better so it's not just buttered up and glued. And so far that seems to be working pretty good. Anyway, and I left it unpainted because no matter what paint I choose, people are going to say, well, I wouldn't paint it like that. I'd paint it like this. So I figure the best thing to do is just kind of show it to you naked, and you can use your own imagination and decide how you would want to paint it. There's a lot of ways you could go with this. So anyway, that's about it. And I thought, well, just for the hell of it, since it's the last go here on this, I'll go ahead and give you the squirt. And yes, that is a dollar store pillow. They work pretty good for airline level BB blasters. And I get to recover my BBs, so it works out pretty nice. So here we go. I'm one-handing this thing, so hopefully I don't miss. Here we go. So, ridiculous rate of fire. Maybe not insane, but definitely ridiculous. And thanks for watching. See ya.